Aberibe should be in prison for not producing Nnamdi Kanu, Deputy Speaker Idris claims. What is Idris, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, talking about? This shows that he doesn't even understand the law and what the law says. Aberibe has played his own role, and the role he played is the role demanded by the House of Assembly. It is the role that the court demanded, and he played it completely, and Nnamdi Kanu was granted a bail. The conditions were fully and completely met, with no single space. So what now is the problem? What now is the request? What now is the conditions? What is he now asking for? It's a conspiracy, I say. Because if it's not a conspiracy, then they wouldn't have still been demanding for a hearing of Nnamdi Kanu's trial again. Okay, I know where this is coming from. Because Nnamdi Kanu and started fighting for his people from abroad, intervening. So it is now a crime to intervene on behalf of your people, to stand by your people, to intercede for your people. It is not a crime when you see your people suffering and you decide to speak on their behalf. It's not a crime. You don't expect Nnamdi Kanu to sit down and watch his people suffer in penury and do nothing. This is one of the reasons why he was sent to jail in the first place. So why the complaints? Why the comments? You understand? So the fight Nnamdi Kanu is fighting is a good fight. So that should not attract any other or any further trial. I believe that the people calling for Nnamdi Kanu's rearrest are the enemies of Biafrans, and majority of them are from the southeast. People who doesn't want Biafran to be actualized. And that is why I will say that Einaya Aberibe still remains the number one Igbo man that has been representing Igbo in general. You understand? Okay, let's quickly look into the content. According to the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Idris Wase on Thursday said Senate Minority Leader Einaya Aberibe should be imprisoned for failing to produce the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, in court. Wase said Aberibe should be jailed, just as Senator Ali Ndume when he failed to produce former chairman of Pension Reform Task Team, PROTT Abdul Rashid Meina, who he stood for as Shoti. A member of the House, Sada Soli, had raised a point of privilege, expressing displeasure. House Minority Leader Ndudi Elumelu disclosed information they had in a closed-door executive session last week about some members planning to defect to the People Democratic Party (PDP). Wase in his contribution seemed piqued that Elumelu, after their session, was in a meeting with People Democratic Party (PDP) caucus of two chambers of the National Assembly. For him to even go out to report, Mr. Speaker, it was a confidential matter. You know the meaning of executive section. He couldn't have gone there to report that one. Okay? Mr. Speaker, I want to say there is a kind of false platform that I am saying, because after that meeting, PDP caucus of both chambers went and had another discussion, a kind of build-up on the security situation, and I think we need to be serious. I see someone as Aberibe is a leader in the Senate championing that. Yes, there are many flaws. He bailed Nnamdi Kanu, and during the answers, we knew what happened. Kanu then was the one who was asking for the heads of Kanu, Tinubu, destroy this, destroy that in the nation. But we have allowed him. He knew what happened to Ndume. Ndume, for bailing Meina, was taken to prison for not producing him, but we allowed this man to go as opposition person. I don't know what is the problem of Idris. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is different from the case of the Senator of Ndume. Do you understand? This one has to do with fraud. This is not fraud. This is not fraud. We are talking about someone who was arrested for because he is fighting he's fighting against injustice and freedom of his people. He's facing a trial. Do you understand? Yes, I know they both are shorties. But in this case, the content of the case is what you should look at, and not the topic. The contents are different and not the topic. So I don't know where your his own opinion is coming from, but from what I observe is that I can see a conspiracy in what the speaker is voicing out. So, in general, I will say that there is nothing Aberibe has done to have to have warranted to go to prison, or that will warrant Nigerian government to take him to prison. Taking Aberibe to prison means you are calling for war. You are calling for war, and you are asking for, in fact, you are asking for the impossibility. It is not, see, it's not because Aberibe is a member of the Senate, or it's not because he's taking advantage of his position. No. Aberibe is still very much on track and free to work. We see, in this country, we have many people that this country is supposed to have thrown to jail, but this country still allow them to work freely. Even you, Idris, you know your case. You know your flops. You know your flaws. Is it because your books have not been opened? Is it because your books have not been opened? You all have your flaws. So stop pointing fingers. You understand? So, my viewers, let me hear from you and know what you have to say about all this. If you're new, click on the subscription buttons as well as the bell buttons to receive more updates. Thank you.